हरे कृष्ण अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीभक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी विचारिणि निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा. So there is one very important point. It says that when we are facing difficulties in life, if you know why, or when it makes tragic situation one faces with a question why, so only one will be able to overcome completely impossible difficulties if it is convinced that it makes sense. If that does not make sense, the limits of patience are very limited. Let's try to understand this point. Our limit of patience will be less if you don't know the reason why am I suffering. If I know the reasons, if I get the answer why the problem comes, why there are difficulties, then it becomes very easy in life. So ultimate answer to all the whys is the same only because Krishna wanted it like that. The life constantly poses difficulties, difficult questions to each of us, and it is trying to testing our willingness to accept the higher will. So, am I ready to accept the higher will of Krishna? Every time we have to go through it, and then we have to face this test. Am I ready to accept the will of Krishna? We say, why? I don't want it in this way. But okay, Krishna wants. So, when Queen Kunti, when she was when she's in the situation, she's actually very grateful. The only choice a person has is to reject God will or accepts God will. That's all we have. Accept it with joyfully and not grudgingly. Like because Lord is all good, who wishes us well, and He's behind all the things that are happening to me. We can be angry with Krishna like Gandhari, or we can be grateful, or we can develop love for Krishna like Kunti. So when Gandhari lost all her sons, she became very upset with Krishna. Whereas Kunti Maharani, when she also went to same troubles all the life, and all her grandchildren were dead, except for her sons, and one of the son Karna is also dead. And interestingly, she knows that Krishna is behind all these things. She knows Sarva Karana Karana is Krishna. And but she accepted it. That is the difference between a devotee or a devotee's heart. He knows that it is what Krishna wants and let it be. Okay, Krishna. And this is very interesting. When Kunti Maharani is saying that, oh Krishna, give me some calamities, this is very interesting thing. She is asking something that nobody else have asked before. What does it mean? It means that Kunti has a sense of deepest trust in Krishna. That is the trust she has in Krishna. The prayer helps us to see behind the misfortune in our life. Whatever, if we are in a prayerful attitude, behind every misfortune in our life, we can see mercy of Krishna and we can accept it with gratitude. This is what a prayer helps. Otherwise, God's mercy will come, it will go away, it will pass, and we will be left only with misfortune, and our heart becomes hardened. This is actually what is happening for many of the people. We're getting mercy of Lord because we are not ready to accept it. That's why things become like that. And Srimad Bhagavatam, it has so many prayers. And why there are so many prayers? Because of only one reason. Reading these prayers, it is sometimes it looks so they are like speculative or overly pompous and superfluous. Actually, it is not like that. We are all these prayers. It is difficult to understand the underlying meaning. 1 minute. Arvindro. So this is the point here, that why we have so many prayers in Bhagavatam, because Narad Muni told Vyas Maharshi that write a book which describes the qualities and pastimes and also the prayers. So this is very important point. Few things, just try to understand. The greatest Vaishnavas in their prayers describe different facets of the absolute truth. That's why we have so many prayers in Bhagavatam. Like we see, everybody is saying the same thing. You are beyond the three modes. You are the cause of everything. You are unaffected. You are, the super soul in God's heart. It is not they're repeating or something. They're actually seeing it. That's why they're able to tell like that. So what they are seeing, they are repeating. So when we get realization, we may also see the things and we also say, wow, my dear Lord, you are beyond the three modes. My dear Lord, you are the cause of all causes. So we'll also say and we get excited about it. What happens by immersing ourselves in this Bhagavatam prayers, we can also feel him in that way. We can also procluse. We can also more easily, and we can also penetrate the Lord through the eyes of these prayers. Now, praise of a conditioned living being is inappropriate, because everything we have is actually from Krishna only. So all our merits are His. And one thing is the prayers of a devotee. It is pray. There are benefits of it is that uh, people pray asking to deliver them from some hardships. So this is also an important thing we need to understand. When we ask Krishna, please help me to come out of these hardships, what happens is eventually such people who are going to Krishna for getting something from him, what is their understanding of Lord is that he should always help me with something. That is how they approach the Lord. And what happens, these people eventually lose faith, or a person who asks God only for happiness is like a child who is constantly asking the father for sweets. So excessive sweets will spoil the digestive fire. That means living too easily without hardships also prevents us from learning lessons and turning ourselves into wise persons. So that is not possible. So these prayers, they are very helpful, especially in the path of Bhakti Yoga. We need to have this spiritual emotions. It all culminates in love. So prayers, it helps to develop that. It helps us to properly pray. We need to learn from great devotees, especially Bhagavatam will help properly praying, and we will also act in relationship with Lord. It will teach us how to act in relationship with Lord. Also, what moral obligations and understanding of His nature impose on us, because Lord is like that. I'm actually obliged to the Lord so much. So these prayers will help us to understand that. Also teach us what we should act, what we should ask from the Lord. And more important is what people think that prayer, it's not that I need something from the Lord. It becomes as a prayojan. I want to pray all the time. Now, what is the prayer? Prayer is like for us is a abhideya. It's a process. I want to attain something. But prayer is what I am. Like His Holiness Radhanan Maharaj. One time Charanjan asked in the class, Maharaj, I am a writer. So I have a question. Maharaj said, I am a prayer. So I constantly pray. How this state comes of prayer when a person, it's a very advanced stage. A person who is praying, it's not some very normal stage, it's in a very advanced state, because he is able to experience that great emotions, that relationship. If we just read the prayers of great devotees with our heart and not with our head, we can feel the emotions of love for Krishna in them. So unless we have love, it is very difficult to pray sincerely, because I can't pray or like what is the prayer they get? I can't pray, my Lord. Please forgive me. Please help me. So this is the first prayer we should learn. That my dear Lord, I cannot pray. I cannot. I don't know what to do. So and spontaneous prayers are save me, help me, have mercy, and you destroy my enemies, because they are not actually prayer in one sense. Because it's all these requests, I and my needs are in the center. Please understand, when we go to the Lord and say, please save me, and this is the prayer I do all the time. My dear Lord, save me, help me, have mercy, and destroy my enemies, or any other things, they are not in one sense completely prayers in highest sense, because it is all request. It all has I in the center. All these requests are I and my needs remain in the center. The prayer is our conscious attempt to magnanimously give place in the center of our consciousness to God. That means we are replacing I and mine with Krishna. That is actually the conscious endeavor. So prayer is our conscious attempt to magnanimously give place in the center of our consciousness to Krishna. So true prayer can be born only in the heart that feel constant presence of Krishna and connection with him. So this sambandha is actually helps us a person. That's why it's very elevated. That's why we say na Vaishnava songs. We have to read that songs. Why we cannot read? We if I have poetic sense, I can also compose some songs, right? But no, we have to read the songs of Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and all the acharyas, because that love is present in that songs. That's why if you say Proji, others are also some outside, some nice songs are there, but it does not have that love, because acharyas, no, they have that sambandha. They are poetically very nicely composed. That's why even kirtan also, we should hear from a person who has very elevated consciousness. Even though the tune may be something simple, but the mantra has that potency, that has the chit potency in them, because that voice, that word has that particles of, because their mind is at the lotus feet of Krishna, and because at the lotus feet of Krishna there are the chit particles. So even if you are sitting with spiritual master, even if he's talking something mundane, he's talking about some construction, he's talking about some finance things, even that also will purify the heart, because his consciousness, the center is Krishna. That's why it is very helpful. Even with spiritual master, like Prabhupada is talking some ordinary things also, it is purifying only, because anything comes from their consciousness words is having that chit potency. So that's why we need to hear kirtans and all. It's not just music, but somebody who has that deep affection for Krishna. When we hear from them, it has. So genuine prayer is an act of deep inner humility. It's a act of deep inner humility and the trust in God. As we transcend ourselves, we transcend our pride, we transcend our ideas of what is right and what is wrong. So that is when the trust on Lord develops. The trust is when we are transcending ourselves, our pride, and our ideas of what is wrong and right. This is so, no, my dear Lord, you know what is right, and whatever you are doing for me, whatever is happening around me, everything is your will. I trust you completely. So this is an act of. Then we have to transcend these things. What are the things we should transcend? Our selfish ideas, I, our pride, and ourselves. And we dare to fully experience our helplessness and dependence on Krishna. So that is the point. And fully our helplessness and dependence. It's very difficult. If you say Krishna, okay, you only I want only you. If you sincerely say there is a risk, Krishna will take it seriously, and then he may remove everything we have. Are we ready for it? It is really scary. My God, Krishna will remove everything. Yes, everything, all relations, everything will go away, because I told to Krishna, I want only you. No, nothing of this world, no relationships, nothing. Everything, whatever you. And Krishna may keep, he may give, he may take, but then we have to accept whatever Krishna is doing because he says, for me, this is what is good for you. So that's why to say Krishna, I only want you, nothing else, is sometimes little more scary. So now, only a humble heart is capable of constant prayers, and by relinquishing our independence, the true prayers they begin. And then there are Saprapratnika, Dainya Bodhika, Lala Samai, such prayers. So this is this is how we should learn to. Of course, there are few more things. We'll just take questions and then I want to add some more points for prayers. Okay, we have some questions in chat box. But the higher ones, Bhaktisiddhanta says Thakur would often sing kirtans out of tune purposefully to see his disciples. He does not sing purposefully out of tune. He used to tell some devotees to sing who are not very big singers. There are some good singers in his disciples, but some people are not very good singers, and he used to tell you lead the kirtan. Why he is telling? Because we are generally attached to the tunes. But he and another thing is like Shivram Maharaj, no, he makes devotees sing same tune for 2 to 3 hours. So what happens? This is very important thing we should understand. Mind, na, after some time, it is running here, there. And then when we start singing, it is looking for newer and new tunes. And if somebody is changing the tune, so it gets excited. But he makes the same tune. So after some time, what happens? The mind is waiting. Array, when the tune will change, when the tune, it does not change. Then it start accepting. It said, okay, let it be. Then what happens? It starts focusing on the name. That is what is needed. We get absorbed. So 2 3 hours of continuous kirtan will help our mind to focus on the name. It's not on the tune or the melody or that some experience. No, just holy name. Just focus on holy name. Same tune, hours and hours. That will help our mind to accept. This is okay. There is no pleasure. I need to enjoy. I just have to hear the holy name. Because anything we do, we want to enjoy that act of enjoying the activity of the music and all. But after some time, mind stops accepting. There is, it will accept. Sorry, it will start accepting that there is nothing I need to enjoy. I just have to hear. So in that way, we become deeper and deeper in our consciousness. By hearing the holy name, we will be able to focus, meditate. See, the advancement is proportionate to how much we are able to meditate on the name. No need of separately somebody certifying us how much we are advanced. We can know our advancement by knowing how much I am able to meditate when I am able to chant, how much I am able to meditate on Krishna, how much I am able to focus. I may do so many hundreds of services, but when I sit for chanting, I am able to focus on the holy name. I am able to meditate on Krishna. That means I am making advancement. So simple formula. It's not very rocket science. So we have to this is then how much I am able to pray. Only a humble heart is capable of constant prayer. That's why Trinadapsini Chena Tharoriva Session Amanina Man Kirtanaya Sadahari. Always constantly. So by relinquishing the independence, two prayers begin. So when I stop giving up my independence and accepting whatever comes as Krishna's mercy, then the prayers will genuinely come from our heart. It becomes very easy for a person in that state to pray. Uh, yeah, we can pray for our health, but whatever Krishna wants, it will happen. If our health is perfect, then we'll serve Krishna. But even if Krishna don't want to give us good health, then also we'll serve Krishna because whatever he wants, it will happen. Like Bhakti Maharaj, he got cancer, then he prayed, but after that he understood that it won't work. Then he said, "Okay, Krishna, I'm accepting." So initially we try. Like Prabhupada also tried to cure the health, and when he was very sick, he told disciples to pray that my spiritual master's mission is not complete, please give him good health. When he was in US first time when he got 1970, when he got heart attack and other things. That time he told, and in every temple they used to chant Narsim prayers and all. So there are prayers, but the purpose is that I want to do service to Krishna. But whatever Krishna wants. So yeah, if a devotee is asking, the question is, if Jiva asks for such an extreme prayer that I only want you, wouldn't Krishna use his discretion to actually execute this prayer based on whether the Jiva is really ready or not? Yeah, of course, Krishna knows the person is not ready. If he's really ready, then no, aham harisham. So he will take away everything. So, or would he make arrangement for Jiva to become gradually? Yeah, he is making for us now. Presently, he is making gradually ready. But tattenu kampa susamikshamano bunjan eva atma kritam vipakam. So he will end up with Krishna taking away everything, and we don't want also anything. As such, the soul don't need all the things which we are attached to in this world now. We are attached to so many wrong things. We don't need all these things. We only need Krishna, but we are not convinced. That is the problem. All these things we are doing to, at the end, we can only say, Krishna, I understood. I don't need all these things, all these family attachments, all these things. And Kunti Maharani is saying, you know, you just cut off my Dridam Pandishu Vishnushu, cut off all my attachments, Krishna. I just want only you. That is what Kunti Maharani comes in the end of her prayers. Because we also understand that one day, no, actually, I don't need all these things. All these name, fame, relationship, affections, this, that, all are great illusions which are holding me here and troubling me so much. And this is actually a trouble. All these affections, attachments, is it looks like a pleasure for us, but it's actually the cause of our trouble. That is the cause of our being in this world. We are trying to experience pleasure, but the amount of suffering we get from it is much more greater than the pleasure. And Krishna says, I can give you much more that pleasure than that. You develop a relation with me. And we still say, yeah, maybe. Yeah, attachment like a prison. The question is it wrong to pray Lord that to give long life without any major elements to pray and serve Him? We can pray, but after some time now, we should come out of that type of prayers. So the prayer to save me, help me, have mercy is not at a prayer in a sense because it is still I and my needs. We should come out of it. Maybe tomorrow I will tell about the three levels of prayers. Then that time I can explain why that is not the highest prayer we should do, because that's not the prayer the acharyas are teaching. There is Lalasa Mai Danya Bodhmika and Samprapnatmika. So in that, their prayer is I want to render service to you. Whatever state I am, that's okay. Krishna decides now what is good for me. He want to give good health or he don't want to give good health. It is Krishna's desire. Why I should tell him? So it's a poison and prison. Yes. Yes, Keshav Priyamataji.
Prabhuji, somehow you answered the previous question, Prabhuji. Even I wanted to ask, even in my present maturity level, I may be more emotional or just, I may pray that, Lord, I don't want anything, but I want you. But Krishna as a super soul within inside, he knows, no, Prabhuji, my capacity, my maturity, and he will give only according to that, no, Prabhuji. You answered that, but somehow.
In the with the heart, we will not be able to pray if we still have attachment because we don't have that much conviction that I only want.
Mm,
We may emotionally
mm,
say, but Krishna knows this
mm,
person is telling with emotion or is telling with.
mm, mm, mm.
We are at the level of buddhi or we are at the level of manas. He knows clearly.
Mm. And Prabhuji, and another question, Prabhuji, like you are discussing that even the chanting, even the kirtan, it should be led with people of, even if their voice is not good, tune is not good, but with people with high mature, I mean, highly elevated in bhakti, no, Prabhuji. But recently we could see Prabhuji everywhere, the youngsters are encouraged to do kirtan, no, Prabhuji, because they're getting attracted by kirtan. And I could see those guys are not even doing 16 rounds properly, Prabhuji, but they everywhere their kirtan is being encouraged now. So is it right?
Yeah, it is for new people. It is okay. Like you want to attract a new audience. You want to attract some. people who are not devotees into devotional field, that's okay. But for us,
Mm.
we if you are hearing personally, you want to hear, you want to attend some kirtan,
Even for new people, Prabhuji, someone comes, for example, Janmashtami, Rath Yatra, very new people are coming, but if they could
because they
hear
are
from some,
attracted to music. That's why
no,
we
that Chit Shakti, like, no, Prabhuji, like, if they're getting hearing from really elevated people, that will have a good impact on their consciousness, Prabhuji. Ajnata Shukriti can be better, no, Prabhuji, even for that,
Of
even
course,
for
yeah.
newcomers.
Prabhupada has only one tune. He could all the people because he has that love for it. But presently, like say, the senior devotee can give the class, and a person who can sing nicely, they can sing. So that's not a
Mm,
problem. Like you can have for
mm,
Kirtan somebody who's a good singer, and class
mm,
can be given by who is very mature and who is advanced, and that will also have an effect in the combination. Because
mm,
when people, what happens is when they hear some good music and all, their heart becomes soft, and
mm,
then that time when they hear some katha or then they take prasadam, it also affects them so much. So
mm,
that's why many of the kirtaniyas they bring people to the fold of bhakti. After that, then they hear the lectures and all, then they make advancement. So it is also not that they are completely no use. It also has a great effect. Like they're able to bring many people to they hear in the trains or in the house. They keep their kirtans and they hear while doing their activities. And slowly, slowly, along with that kirtans, they'll have some lectures also coming in YouTube along with that. So they may hear one, two lectures and make progress.
that is okay for even
Yeah.
those who don't do 16 rounds even, it's okay to be them. Okay, Praj. Thank you, Praj. Hare Krishna.
So one more question is like we need to pray for mercy. Yes, yes, we need to pray for mercy. It is mercy is like for engaging in service. I want mercy, my Lord, so that I will able to serve you nicely. Prabhupada was also praying, no? Markine Bhagavad Dharma. Ye punya karibe jabbe radharani kushi hobe. He's also praying for mercy, but he want to serve the Lord. He said, whatever situation, no, make me dance, my Lord. So he's praying for mercy. So the mercy is to give him pleasure. Not to uh, the thoughts are always about me only, what I will get, what I am getting. But our thoughts, the center should start becoming Krishna. What Krishna got today from me, how much pleasure Krishna got today from me, how much did I give him pleasure today, which what activity I gave pleasure for him. So I start thinking about him. So that is where our the difference starts, that is where difference comes. Like how much did, okay, I chanted, did Krishna become happy for my chanting today? Okay, I did some abhishekam and dressing and I offered some bhoga, maybe Krishna is pleased with it, did I please him? So that's how we start thinking. Then we start praying mercy, praying, oh my dear Lord, please give me some mercy, I'll be able to do something for you. So like that. So in that way we make advancement and progress. So this is and this we already discussed. This we discussed in when we are doing first canto eighth chapter. But I know it's a long time, so I just repeated what we have discussed. This is already there. I sent these notes also, but because we have to remind ourselves about these prayers, that's why I just took it as a revision. So some classes we have to revise again and again, otherwise we forget. So we will just read few more purports of Prabhupada, which are very, very helpful. स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वं त्रियन्नरासुरादिभिः. He, the personality of Godhead, as the maintainer of all in the universe, appeared in different incarnations after establishing the creation, and thus he remains all kinds of conditioned souls among the humans, the non-humans, and demigods. Sorry, he reclaims all kinds of conditioned souls among humans, non-humans, and demigods. So he appears to deliver the living entities. So this is the discussion that is happening about Virat Rupa, how the creation comes, that is what happening, how by the desire of Lord, when he want to speak, when he's hungry, when he's want to see, all the senses of living entities are appearing. So here in the previous shloka we say according to different modes of mental nature and according to passion different living entities are appearing, and Lord appears. He he's maintain all these universes appear in different incarnations, only one purpose that he wanted to take. And interestingly, this Leela never ends for the Lord. The number of living entities continuously go, and the Leela of Lord of coming every time and delivering also continuously. So it will never end. This Leela is a constant Leela. Living entities are there, and then in the spiritual world, not that so many are going back, it will get jam packed. No, it is also unlimited. So there will be unlimited living entities expanding in the spiritual world. Unlimited living entities still remain in the material world. Lord is coming unlimited of times and taking them in unlimited number. So everything is going on all the time. It's a constant leela. We just have to come out of it, go to spiritual world, and maybe we'll come to Delhi. If Lord sins again, we have to come to material world to help other living entities like that. Prabhupada writing the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu incarnates himself in different societies of living entities to reclaim them from the clutches of illusion. Such activities of Lord are not limited only to human society. He incarnates even as fish, hog, trees, and other forms. But less intelligent person has no knowledge of him, derived him, even he is in the human society. So Avajananti Mamuda Manushim Tanmashtata. This is actually what happens. As we have already discussed in previous, it is concluded that Lord is never a product of material creation. He is transcendental. As such, he is never subjected to reactions of his acts. These all things now is very important to all the time understand this. Free from reactions. People don't know reaction only. They don't understand what is being free from reaction. This is kriyamana karma. When we are doing an activity, we are affected by it. So, Makan Prue has a big yeah, yeah, Amanitva Matam Vittu Mahimsa. Yeah, this is correct. This is Bhagavad Gita shloka. Thank you, Makan. So, the conception of material world, such as good and bad, lower and upper, important and insignificant, are estimations of material energy, and the Supreme Lord is transcendental to all such worlds. The word Parambhava, transcendental nature, can never be compared to the material conceptions. We should not forget that the potencies of Almighty Lord are always the same and do not because decrease because the Lord assumes the form of lower animal. So he is completely potent even in the form of a hog or a tortoise or everything. So there is a difference between Sri Ram's and Lord Sri Krishna and incarnation as fish. There is no difference. Sorry, there is no difference between any of these incarnations that need. As such, one who is foolish about the transcendental science of Lord will find it difficult to understand how Lord Vishnu can equally manifest himself in every society of living entities. Tatah kalagnirudraatma yatsashtim idam atmanah sannichyati tatkala gananikam ivanila. He says, thereafter, at the end of the millennium, the Lord himself in the form of Rudra, the destroyer, will annihilate the complete creation as the wind displaces the cloud. So this is another very important. The Lord himself in the Rudra. So he is the maintainer and he is only as a Rudra, he is destroying. So the energy anybody gets or potency anybody gets, it's Krishna only. So by saying that it is Krishna doing is not wrong. This creation is very appropriately compared to clouds. Clouds are created or situated in the sky, and when they are displaced, they remain in the same sky without manifestation. Similarly, the whole creation is made by the Supreme Personality of God in form of Brahma, is maintained by him and destroyed by him in the form of Rudra, like that. So Bhagavad Gita says, Bhuta Grama sa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate. Ratro agame vashah partha prabhavanti aharagame. Parastasmat bhavanyo vikto vikta sanatana yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyashu na vinashyati. So this is actually what the Lord is doing. And to give hope to such foolish conditioned souls who waste their energy in temporary material world, the Lord gives information that there is another nature, Parastasmat Bhavan, which is eternally existing without being occasionally created or destroyed, and that the conditioned soul should utilize his valuable energy so that he can go there. instead of wasting his energy in matter which is sure to be destroyed in due course of by the supreme will, the conditioned soul should utilize his energy in devotional service of Lord so that he can be transferred to the other eternal nature. So this is what we need to do. Ittam bhavena katito bhagavan bhagavatattamah nettam bhavena hi param drishtum arhanti surayah. The great transcendentalists thus describe the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead by the pure devotees desire to see more glorious things in transcendence beyond these features. So this is another. So they are describing the activities of Lord, but pure devotee desire to see more glorious thing in transcendence. So these transcendentalists they are describing the activities of Lord which are happening in the material world, the creation and all. But there are more glorious things that is in the spiritual world, the personal form. But the Lord is not only the creator and destroyer, material manifestation of his different energy, he is more than simple creator and destroyer, far from feature of Ananda. This is a very important understanding also. Like say the Supreme Lord is in Vaikunta, he is not so approachable. So approachable form is Krishna's form. He is very easily. Say you have a very big person, like if somebody want to approach the Prime Minister of India, it's quite difficult, right? He is a very big person, how to get appointment. But if you have to go to a village and there is a cowherd boy with some cows, he is around and is wearing some forest flowers, it is quite easy to approach him and talk to him. So Krishna's form is more approachable than any other form of his creation, of his manifestations. That's why we want Krishna's form. This pleasing feature of Lord is understood by the pure devotees only and not by others. The impersonalist is satisfied simply by understanding the all-pervasive influence of Lord. This is called Brahman realization. Greater than the impersonalist is the mystic who sees the Lord situated in the heart of Paramatma, the partial representation. But there are pure devotees who take part in direct pleasure, Ananda. The Lord in his abode called Vaikunta planet, which are eternal manifestations, always remain with his associates and enjoy transcendental loving service. During the manifestation, the pure devotee of Lord practice devotional service of Lord and take full advantage of his manifestation. Bhaktyamam avijanati. This is nasya karmani janmado परस्यानु विधिधीयते कृतवान् प्रतिषेधार्थं माययारोपितं हि तथा. This is there is no direct engineering by Lord for creation and destruction of material world. What is described in the Vedas about his direct interference is simply to contract the idea that material nature is the creator. There is no direct engineering by Lord for the creation and destruction of world. What is described in the Vedas is direct interference, simply a contract the idea that material nature is the creator. So what? So this is a very important point. What is said that Lord is not directly involving himself, but when he is told he is the cause, it is to tell that material nature is not doing. It is by his energy it is happening. Like if we say he is not involved, that means okay, it is happening on its own. No. It is not happening its own. So Veda direction for the creation, maintenance, destruction of world is this. Etova imani bhutani jayante yena janati jivanti yat parayati abhishna vishanti. That is, everything is created by Brahman. After creation, everything is maintained by Brahman. After annihilation, everything is conserved in Brahman. Gross materialistic, without any knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, conclude material nature is the ultimate cause and manifestation of material manifestation. And modern scientists also share this view that the material nature is the ultimate cause of all manifestation. This view is refuted by all the Vedic literature. The Vedanta philosophy mentions that Brahman is the fountainhead of all creation, maintenance, and destruction. Srimad Bhagavatam is also the natural commentary, Vedanta philosophy, Janma Desyata. Now, Inert matter is undoubtedly energy with potency to interact, but it has no initiative of its own. Srimad Bhagavatam therefore comments on the aphorism Janma Yasya by saying Abhignya and Swarat. That is, the Supreme Brahman is not inert matter, but is the Supreme Consciousness and is independent. Therefore, inert matter cannot be the ultimate cause of creation, maintenance, destruction of material world. Superficially, material nature appears to be the cause of creation, maintenance, destruction, but material nature is set into motion for creation by the Supreme Conscious Being, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Maya Dikshena Prakriti. So even though Lord is not directly involved, his potency is trying to, with his potency, is making everything act. So material nature is one of the energies of Lord, and she can work under the direction of Lord. When the Lord throws his transcendental glance over material nature, then only can the material nature act. As a father contacts the mother, who is thus able to conceive a child. Although it appears to a layman that the mother gives birth to a child, the experienced man knows that the father gives birth to the child. The material nature therefore produces a moving and standing manifestation of material world after being in contact with Supreme Father and not independently. So this is Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says the logic of Aja Gala Sthana Naya. He says that the material nature as the material cause is known as Pradhana, and as the effect cause is known as Maya. The material cause is Pradhana, efficient cause is Maya. But since it is inert matter, it has no remote cause of creation. So he says that because Karanarnavashaya Vishnu is a plenary expansion of Krishna, it is he who electrifies the matter to put it in motion. The example of electrification is quite appropriate. A piece of iron is certainly not fire, but when the rod is made red hot, certainly it has the quality of fire, though it burning through its burning capacity. Matter is compared to piece of iron, and it is electrified or made red hot by the glance or manipulation of the supreme consciousness Vishnu. Only by such electrification is the energy of matter displayed in various actions and reactions. Therefore, inert matter is neither the efficient nor the material cause of cosmic. So, simple example like matter on its own cannot. There should be some potency in the matter, and that is the glance of the Lord. So, when Lord glances, the energy comes in it, then it will be able to function. So, the iron is there, it becomes fiery electric rod. We need to heat our water. We have water heaters. It is actually the electric energy turn is giving to the rods, and then we are able to utilize it. So the energy comes only by the Lord. So all is dead, but there is potency in it. That's all glance of the Lord. The original fire, its flame, its sparks, and its smoke are all one. For fire is still fire, it is different from the flame, fire is different from the spark, and sparks are different from soul. In every one of them, namely in the flames, in the spark, in the smoke, the integrity of fire is present. Yet all of them are differently situated, different positions. So, such a nice example. You say the flame is also fire, then there is sparks, that is also fire. The smoke is also part of fire. All together is fire, but there is something called the energy of fire, which is present in all of them. And all of them are differently situated with different positions, but in every one of them, namely in flame, the spark, the integrity of fire is present. So the cosmic manifestation is compared to smoke because the smoke passes over the sky, so many forms appear, resembling many kinds of unknown manifestations. The sparks are compared to living entity, the flames are compared to material nature, Pradhan. One must know that each and every one of them is effectively, uh, which of them effective simple being of being empowered by the quality of original fire. So all of them are like Pradhan is like the fire, and the sparks are living entities, and the smoke is like the unmanifested, the cosmic, and the whole cosmic. So then the whole has energy, and that energy is the empowerment. Therefore, all of them, namely the material nature, the cosmic manifestation, living entity, are but different energy of Lord Fire. Therefore, those who accept the material nature, Prakriti as the cosmic manifestation's original cause, Prakriti's cause of creation according to Sankhya philosophy, are not correct in their conclusion. The material nature has no separate existence. So, I hope you understood this example. The potency of fire is there in the spark, in the fire, and in the smoke. So, the potency is what is coming from Lord. Similarly, the cosmic manifestation, the living entity, and Pradhan. All three has energy, and that is coming from the Lord. So, material nature has no separate existence without the Lord. Therefore, setting aside the Supreme Lord as cause of all causes is the logic of Ajagala Stana Nyaya, or trying to milk the nipples of neck of a goat. The nipples of neck of a goat may seem like source of milk, but they try to get milk from such nipples will be foolish. Okay, thank you very much. We'll continue it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be able to complete the chapter. We have only two purposes. Thank you all.